Hey, welcome back to Everything About Nothing. This is your host, Tobenna. Okay, I'm excited to be. This is the return of nothing, and this is episode 2. I'm gonna be putting out weekly episodes, just kind of giving you nuggets and tips to having a great week and having a great life. Now, I'm not saying my life is perfect. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but I've seen successful people. I've seen people who are living in purpose and fulfillment and joy. I'm not talking about happiness because happiness is usually predicated on what's happening, but I'm talking about real joy and contentment regardless of what's going on. And this is one of the biggest lessons I've ever learned. Life does not get easier. We just get harder. And in getting harder, we have to make the hard choices every single day. Every day you wake up, you have the choices of comfort or growth. And the people who grow choose 3 hard things every single day. There's a wise man said that to kill a man's dreams, ambitions, and goals, you got to give them 3 things: fast food, cheap entertainment, and a constant sense of pleasure, which is sex, drugs, whatever the case is, you want to put it. But you give somebody 3 things every single day, and it will kill their dreams for the future, right? Because as people, we like to be comfortable. Who doesn't like to be comfortable? I know I do. Like when you wake up in that bed and it's cold outside and you know you have a long day ahead of you, the last thing you want to do is what? Get up. Last thing you want to do is work out. Last thing you want to do is go for that walk to kind of help jumpstart the circadian rhythm of drinking that water. But you know the first thing we're going to do? We're going to jump on our phones and we're going to swirl on Instagram. We're going to check text. We're going to check any type of thing that allows us to stay in bed and be warm. And what if I told you all that comfort is killing you? It's killing your dreams. It's killing your purpose. It's killing your growth as a person. And you need to kill that. And I know we all know that how your daily habits kind of affect your life. I feel like that's kind of been beat in our heads for a very long time. And a lot of people know those things about each other. But the hardest thing is actually taking action. And for a lot of us, we know what to say. We know the right things to say. We understand the right things to say. But the hardest thing is doing. We're stuck in this analysis paralysis. Because I think the act of doing sometimes is where we stay in instead of actually doing. For a lot of us, I always like to recreate the gym. The gym is somewhere where if you put in the work, you will see the results. And I think that is a metaphor for life. But at the end of the day, for a lot of people spend time on finding the perfect gym outfit, the gym routine, the perfect diet, everything than just stepping into the gym because guess what? They don't want to be, or they don't want to look stupid. They don't want to act like they don't know what they're doing. Newsflash. I'm here to tell you that you're going to mess up regardless. You're going to look cringe in the gym because you're not going to know what you're going to do. You're going to mess up on your diet because the first week is hardest because you're trying to figure out what's healthy, what's not healthy. You're trying to cut macros and everything like that. But guess what? The more you show up, the more you do, and the more action that you're taking is actually going to get you the results you want instead of actually just talking about it. And we talked about doing 3 hards every single day. The first hard we're going to talk about is the hard of physical. And I don't mean you need to train like a professional athlete to get this type of physical, but you need to get your ass up. You need to get your butt up and get to doing something. And that physical be something as small as getting up and doing push-ups. And for a lot of us, push-ups are one of the most easy, non-equipment things that we can at least attempt to do. It's a chest workout, it's an arm workout, it's everything above, but we have to do it. Our body needs resistance. Our body needs to grow. We can't get better. We can't get stronger. We can't get faster. We can't get healthier unless we're pushing ourselves physically. And for a lot of us, as we've aged, we've kind of put our physical health on the back burner and complacent to comfort. Because guess what? We don't really like our jobs. The economy is going to all hell. And we're watching things on the social media. We're getting caught up in all this keeping up with the Joneses. And you start getting depressed. And usually the first thing that goes when we get depressed or we start neglecting our life is our physical health. And I want to challenge you this week. Every day, do something hard. And like I said, it doesn't need to be back-breaking work, but it needs to be something that pushes you, something that you don't want to do. And I always say the thing that you don't want to do is the thing that you usually need to do. Whether it's going to the gym, going for that walk, lifting weights, doing jumping jacks, going to yoga, there's so many different things you can find yourself to get physical activity that you just need to find what works for you. That might be going to Pilates. That might be going to yoga. That might be going for that walk at the park. That might be jump roping. That might be jogging. Whatever the case may be, find something that allows you to burn calories, that allows you to move your body, because the endorphins and the dopamine that you get from after doing a workout that you really, really, really didn't want to do, you might feel tired, but you feel amazing. You feel accomplished. That those short wins at the beginning of your day, at the end of your day, really make a difference in your life. But for a lot of us, the hardest thing for us to do is just taking that first step because we feel like we have to have it all together. And that's why I challenge you this week. Move. Move is getting up and doing something, even if you don't know what you're doing. There's ClassPass. There's all these boutique classes that you can look into. There's rock climbing. Whatever the case is, I challenge you for 30 minutes every single day this week for you to move your body. And I promise you, you'll feel a lot better and it'll get easier the more you do it. But that first hard is usually where most people neglect the hard of physical. And the next hard is just as important as physical, but sometimes we overlook it. And this is the mental hard. And just like physical, it's a constant state of applying uncomfort to yourself. But the hardest thing for a lot of us is that we're always consuming instead of thinking. We're always consuming. Like from social media to the news that's on TV to Netflix to everything that's in front of your screen, anything on the screen that you're consuming every single day, you have to ask yourself, is this goal achieving or is this pleasure seeking? And for a lot of us, if we really were to do an audit of what our day looks like, and the beautiful thing about a lot of our phones these days, it tells us what our screen time looks like. And for a lot of people saying like, oh, I need to be on my phone for work or I need to do this for my business. Well, congratulations. The beautiful thing about iPhone is that it breaks down where a lot of your time is spent. Is it on social media? Is it on your emails? Like it outlines each in detail how much time you're allotting and to which apps. So there's no excuse of saying I'm always, because we're like, think about this, as consumers, we're consuming daily. Companies are force feeding, marketing, brands are putting out the best things because they want us to buy, they want us to take. But how many times are we giving, right? And you wonder why you're so depressed, or you wonder why you have so much brain fog, is because most of your day has been looked at a screen. Most of your day has been consuming something. When was the last time you sat down and read a book? When was the last time you sat down and did something for yourself? And the heart of mental is really doing something for yourself. A lot of us say that we want to do something. A lot of us say that we want to go and achieve great goals, whether it's starting a business, doing a side project. A lot of us don't have things to look forward to. All we're consumed is work, home, and an occasional night out or two on the weekends. That repetitive cycle is going to get pretty boring. What are you doing for you? What are you doing for your future? And it starts with the mental. I challenge you this week. Cut your screen time in half off social media, off your streaming devices, off Netflix, off whatever the case is that might be your vice, and really pour into yourself. I think the importance of pouring into self is so underrated now because we've been so programmed to watch and to consume because it allows us to shut our brain off. And I'm not saying there's a time and a place for all that. Pour into yourself, whether that might be important to your relationships to help you overcome a lot of your bad situations that you're in. That might be pouring into that book that you've been putting off reading. That might be pouring into that business that you're putting off doing, or that podcast or that show, whatever the case is, that creative aspect that you need. Because we pour our life into work, and work pays the bills. But you need something that's going to feed your soul as well. When you do something mentally demanding every day, you're programming your body to be able to withstand stress, uncertainty, and adversity. Over time, your mindset is going to only get stronger and stronger. We understand Kobe was obsessed with his craft. He was obsessed with being the best, and that's where we get that Mamba mentality from. And then last heart of the day, which is, I think, one of the top of all three, right? Because I think this one is what fuels both parties of your physical heart and your mental heart, is your spiritual heart. And for a lot of us, we do not have a good spiritual life. I think that we kind of overlook this the most because it's something that either you didn't grow up in it or you've had a bad experience in something before. And the hardest thing about growing your spiritual life, it's usually going to cause you to slow down. It's going to cause you to take some time to breathe, take some time to rest, put down the hustle, put down the grind, put down the weights. Because at the end of the day, you could be physically fit, mentally sound, but when your soul is crying out for something deeper and you don't know why, and sometimes we call that a rut. You have the nicest house, you have the beautiful family, but you're still searching for something. And as somebody who's a firm believer in Jesus Christ and He is my Lord and Savior, I believe that what you're looking for is something deeper than the material, something deeper than just grinding it out. You're looking for the creator of all creation. And for a lot of us, even if you're not a Christian, you need a spiritual practice that grounds you. In society, we're caught up in achieving, getting, building, doing all the stuff to get this material wealth or validation or status, whatever the case is. And sometimes in the pursuit of that, we still feel empty. I think finding something that grounds you allows you to feel present in the moment, present in your situation, present in your uncertainty, and still knowing that's going to be okay. Because one thing about life is that it's always going to throw you a curveball. I don't care how prepared you think you are, life is going to life. I think we all say that. And somebody told me that, so Murphy's Law talks about if how something can go wrong, will go wrong. And a lot of times we sometimes feel like everything is always on us. But I want you to understand that, like, even in the midst of turmoil and uncertainty, that you can still be okay. In the midst of uncertainty and turmoil, you can still have peace. In the midst of uncertainty and turmoil, you can still be present. And a lot of us struggle with that. I know I for sure struggle with that. And that's something that I've been trying to be better at as I've gotten older in life, is just being present in this moment, allow myself to feel and not just trying to look for the next shiny thing, whether it's a job or the next sale. Like, it's okay enjoying them now, because guess what? We don't get this now back. We don't get this today back. Tomorrow's uncertain. Yesterday doesn't matter. Today's all we have. So a lot of us, whether it's reading a book, journaling, praying, meditating, going for a walk, whatever the case is that allows you to breathe, is something that I think that is so underrated. And it's helped me a lot of times where I feel like life was going too fast and I couldn't breathe. I feel like everything was changing around me and I didn't know why. And I blink. And for a lot of us millennials, sometimes we believe that, like, man, life is just going quick. You blink and you're 30. Like, I'm 29 now, and even hearing about being 29 makes me feel like I don't feel 29, but I am, and it feels weird. But I'm okay because I understand that everything is gonna work out for me because I serve a Lord and Savior that knows the yesterday from the tomorrow. My future is His past. He's the same yesterday, today, tomorrow, and forever. I think there needs to be an audit in your life every single week of where am I going, where am I at, what are my values right now? Am I the same person I was last year or the year before? That's a pretty miserable place to be in, the same place that you were always. So just constantly challenge yourself to grow in that way where you feel like you can grow and be better, because there is moments where you're going to need that for the future. Life is not going to be easy. And I promise you, you don't want it to be easy. As people, we don't want comfort. We want purpose. We want fulfillment. That is so much more enjoyable than comfort. Comfort is good, but we want to feel fulfilled in everything that we do, whether it's in our relationships, whether it's in our habits, in our bodies, in our minds. And for a lot of us men out here that might be struggling either with one of the three and you're doing it alone, I promise you, keep going. You're not alone. I know it sometimes those nights feel unbearable where you're just trying to be the best you can and life's just kicking you down every chance it gets. I just want you to know you're not alone. Find somebody. Don't do this alone. If you want to grow as a person and you're not happy where you are right now, do 3 hard things every single day. A mental heart, a physical heart, and a spiritual heart. And those small choices will compound and grow, and you'll look up and your life is completely different. And this is somebody that's coming from somebody 6 years ago. I had 67 cents in my bank account. I was sleeping on the floor in a room I was renting, and I had no bed. I had nothing. Driving a 2003 Kia Spectra. Now, my life is completely different 6 years later, but I just kept showing up. I did my 3 hearts, and I never quit. This is Everything About Nothing. Keep tuning in. We're going to be having more episodes. We're going to be bringing in more guests. We're going to have more videos to be reacting to. So I promise you, keep tuning in. We're going to have a great time, but I'm excited. This is your host, Tobenna, signing off.